So my educational background. So first I choose to study about psychology, especially to the emphasizing and measuring about the educational psychologies. When I was a teenager, when I was in high school, so naturally, so it's very natural. So we grow kind of the self-consciousness and want to know about myself and especially about the mind. And when we have to choose the further studies, so psychology looks attractive. But I found, as I study more about the Western psychology, so it is interesting, but I feel it doesn't directly address the issue of the mind itself. It also analyzes how mind functions in more given social situations. So I come across about the yoga, and especially come from the American side. On the way to study about psychology, I come across one book called Be Here and Now, written by the Haridas, Ramdas. His book was translated into the Japanese, called Be Here and Now. And I was one of the generation influenced by the Ramdas. And as he opened a new field, so psychology is not only the Western subject, but it is also the lead to the more to the Western and Eastern spiritual traditions. And then so I'd come like the yoga in India, Tibetan Buddhism, of course Japanese Zen, and the Theravadas, Vipassanas. I started reading more about India and Eastern spiritualities, religion, and somehow yoga clicked into my mind. And I wanted to know more about the India, so I shifted my measures. After a while, and the possibility, after 10 years, I could start my own farm or my office. So, and we could have such a dream in 1980s in Japan. And we have plenty of the successful examples in the society. And then, so I worked for some times, and then something comes from inside. There should be another way. One is so it's a deep feeling of the uneasiness. So later I came to know it is called as dukkha, suffering. Later I understand that is a fundamental unsatisfactoriness of life, the fundamental. It is not just the one achievement or one failure. So it is not something which we failed or something we achieved. So there's underlying unsatisfactoriness. So that is the truth of the life. Later, much later, I came to know about this. But this feeling of the dukkha push us, in a sense, in a positive way to search the solution. Still, we may not reach to the point, but it becomes kind of the driving force to search something better, something different. There may be something more. And the social situation in Japan in 1980s allow us, even the individual, started the exploration of the new field. So I decided, okay, I will go to India. I went to India first time in 1987, spent 1 month. It was during the spring holidays in my second universities. And I was in Rishikesh. It is a holy place, in the Hindu holy place, in 1 month. And returned to Tokyo, I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I got some of the infection or some fevers. So I really understand the physical sufferings in India. Food is different, climate different, people are different, language are different, everything different. And that's what I wanted, to be exposed. And when I faced to the realities in India, so it awakened the kind of the deep feeling. Truth is somewhere, not here. And then I started more systematic research about India. I went to the Indian embassies and collected all material related to the yoga, related to the institute. And I sent the whole an enquete because I was also part-time the marketing researchers. I got some skill to start to grasp the situations. And a few institutes responded me. And then so in the second trip, I had the more systematic research about what is what we can learn about yoga. And then so there's one institute called Kaivalya Dharma Yoga Institute in the Lonavala in the Maharashtra state. So it is suitable for my interest. So 1990s, I joined the universities. I joined the Kaivalya Dharma Yoga Institute. And they have the college for yoga, to training yoga teachers, the one-year diploma courses. I have to mention, before that, I come across the Achan Goenka. So I moved to the Kathmandu in Nepal. And I happened to meet Achan Goenka. I have no knowledge about him. No knowledge about him, no knowledge about the Vipassanas. This is a way to go to the essence of the Buddha teaching. And we are human beings. And we have sensations. And the sensation, Vedana is a key to explore. I never heard from the Western psychology in such approaches. Then, so my endeavor in India started, both Vipassana and under the guidance under the teaching method of the Achan Goenkas and the traditional yoga in the Kaivalya Dharma Yoga Institute. I thought first I could continue my study of the psychologies. I was told, if you really want to know about yoga, better to study the philosophy. Because at the core of the yoga, there's a deep intelligence. It is all common to the Indian subject, including the Buddhists, of course. That a deep intelligence is inside. So, for example, yoga starts from the physical exercise like asana or the breathing practice like pranayamas, and then start for the kind of meditation. But they have some kind of the very sharp intelligence, which is turned into the wisdom, panyas. And India has a long history to develop the different approaches and different methods to understand the body. And then if we understand in a certain degree about the body, then we can enter to the field of the mind. See, the yoga is mostly developed in the medieval time. And this is also Indian tradition. And in all the days, the wise men has completed their knowledge and the technique. But as the time goes by, so we human beings is gradually getting degenerated. And then, so what we can do is to go back and to re-explore, to re-evaluate and reintegrate what our ancient sages and Buddha has taught to us. Then, and yoga, the whole history of yoga is one of such endeavors. And they have a lot of the exploration and experimentation and exploration about the human bodies. So delay the aging, maintain the certain vitality, and so that we can be very positive toward the life. Then when body is organized, well integrated, then we can concentrate on our breath. It means our body is full of the physiological activities. We can pacify and keep very limited activities, mainly natural breathing. And then when we limited our physical activities, focusing on the natural breathing, now we can concentrate. And the natural breathing becomes the gateway to explore to our inner world. So in there, it is mostly so we can start the understanding how mind moves. Mind go with attachment, mind go without attachment. Mind go with anger, mind go without angers. In that way, so because of the help of the stabilizing the body, now we can start the meditations. And mindfulness meditation is now very well recognized and accepted also in India, because mostly the help of the Achan Goenkas. And Indian people now again started their own evolutions. It started exactly is the entry point. And the Satipatthana Sutta and the Anapanasati Sutta mentioned. So first, we're supposed to go to the forest. If we cannot go to the forest, go to under the trees. And even though if we cannot go to under the tree, then we may go to the empty room. And then sit comfortably, and then focusing. It's said parimukha around this area. We focus to our attention to the areas. So this has a good atmosphere to think about life, to think about the mind. And yoga can very well integrated into this environment. So Thailand is in between India and Japan. And it means not only geologically it's in between India and Japan, maybe spiritually also this is a place and the crossroad of the things. So Buddhadasa says, we steal things from the nature, and we regard it as if it is like ourself, like our ego, and then our ego grows, and our ego is the source of the suffering. Of course, not always ego is anyway the root cause, but it's not so easy to tackle with it. First, we need to know about what is the basic structure of the yoga. So we follow the sage Patanjali. He composed one textbook called Yoga Sutras. And in that text, he recommended 8 steps of the yogas. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Then, so when we practice yoga, first, so we follow this framework. And practically, we cannot separate the practice of asana and pranayama and samadhi and meditations. So when I was given the opportunity to work with our Thai friends, so it is our really pleasure, because here already meditation, samadhi is there. But we modern people, sometimes it's difficult to start meditation immediately. If so, those people who have inclination to the practice of meditation, if they know properly the practice of the yoga and the basic traditional asanas and the basic pranayama, so naturally, so people can move seamlessly from the asana, pranayama to the meditations. And unfortunately, there are many traps in this field of yoga. If we don't follow the totality, totality framework, often the too much physical exercise just grows our sense of the ego. It is warned in the traditional text, but many yoga teachers fall into the traps. It's natural, so we have to survive. Survive means survive the body. But the happiness comes from the mind. So the first we have kind of we are pushed to survival in the very hectic modern societies. So that's why we consume the body for survival of the body. But the body doesn't give us the happiness. Happiness actually comes from the mind. So the body is okay. We need the care. We have to take care of the body, but we have to take care of the mind. And then so the yoga started from the physical exercise practices, and then the breathing practice called pranayama is a link between the physical body to the mind. And actually, mostly the yoga system is centered on this practice called pranayama, breathings. So from the beginning to the learning yoga, we need to develop such a program so it helps to the continuities, so that the student can keep in touch with the yoga, even the small scale, so that the practice go. And it's the same approach to the Dhamma practices. It's nothing, and actually we should not separate the study or practice yoga and the Dhamma practices. If we go together, it gives the more holistic view. And we can adapt from some method, technique from yoga, and more to the guideline of the life. We can learn from the Dhammas. See, so the practice it's poison turned to the amrut, nectars. So the dukkha is it is a poison, but also it can work as a medicine, as the nectars. Although it is a process of transformations. Yoga is mostly developed in India, but now it becomes a kind of the global cultures. And that's what I mentioned. I said that the Indian mind interprets yoga in their way. But when we try to interpret yoga in our way, and how Thai people interpret yoga, so that helps a lot. And compared to the Japanese, our fellow Japanese, Thai people has much better sensitivity about physical sensation and breath awareness. So we learned a lot about yoga. This is what yoga means by practicing, by working with our Thai friends. So life becomes more meaningful and fruitful. See, the life is a series of the choice. Every day, every moment, we have to choose. We have to choose. We have to choose. And what we choose now will influence what will happen in the next. And with regularly practice yoga and live with yoga, it helps to have the better choice in every moment. So it means yoga is a good advisor. If I want to do something, we have to decide something, I have to ask my body. It looks nice whenever I return to Thailand. So first we go to the restaurant and order tom yum goong and other Thai dishes. But I have to ask my body, my stomach, my body, how much I can eat today now. This is one thing. And then, what to plan next? For example, mostly I'm working, I plan to the different courses and program of yoga. And we have to think, is this due to my ego or it is for the benefit of the student people? I have to ask my mind. So life gives us always wonders. So it's every moment, every day is something new and full of the surprise. So we are living in such time. Even the individual, we are something living, so sailing in the big oceans without any map. We don't know what will happen, what will come next. But still, what we can do is always to think to the equilibrium, equanimities, so that whatever comes on the way to our life, we may respond to the positively. And when I come to Thailand 20 years ago, so when I share my knowledge about yoga to the first group of our Thai friends, so they called me as a Kalyana Mitra. I didn't understand at that time. What does it mean? Later, I came to know what does it mean. So we are all friends walking on the same path. And if we know something is good, we have to share. And we have to learn from our friends who know better than I, better than me. Keep each other so learning together as a Sangha. So this is what the Buddha wants. So don't claim I know everything or I teach you, but always attitude to study together, to learn together, to work together. So it helps me a lot to mature my mind.